Alrighty folks, this is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic the Gathering Arena draft video. We don't have 1.5k gems yet, but we're almost there. So why not just dive into some more quick draft Theros Beyond Death. We'll probably be drafting Rakdos, Sacrifice, Escape again, but that is just the nature of the bots. But it does give us a nice way to kind of accumulate gems and know the secret. We could lose, we could win, I don't know, but yeah, this is my favorite draft set so far. For the standard rotation, definitely better if there was human drafting, since again we don't have to force ourselves into black red sacrifice, but that's also a pretty good archetype. So hopefully we don't end up in that direction and we can draft something new. Let's give it a spin again. And pack one, pick one. What do we have? The flying pleasure of opening. Okay, I guess we have definitely a different reason to be drafting black red. Dream Trawler, pretty much unbeatable bomb, unless the opponent is playing a lot of flyers, of course, and they have lots of ground reach creatures, and there is a pump spell in this set, I think, that gives a creature reach. I believe it's Gift of Strength. I don't know. It gives a creature +3/+3 in reach, but it's usually not a card people will main deck, since due to the fact there's a pump spell and there's a lot of instant speed removal spells that can blow you out in this set. So yeah, Dream Trawler is just a bomb. I mean, come on, flying. Did they really need to print this? I mean, the fact that you can discard any card to just give this hexproof is quite absurd. The fact that whenever it just attacks and draws a card is absurd. And the fact that it's a flying lifelink creature is just quite absurd. I don't know why they need to print this, but I guess blue was so bad in the set they had to give them the powerful rares like Kiora, the Best to See God, Dream Trawler, Ashiok, and now and also what else was there? The Kraken, the Nadir Kraken. So yeah, I think it's an easy Dream Trawler. Looking at the uncommons, if Dream Trawler was in this pack, it would be a pretty interesting debate between whether or not I want Eutropia the twice favorite or Voracious Typhon. Probably take the Eutropia because it's at uncommon and a little bit harder to grab, and it's the reason why blue-green is a viable archetype. Is because of a card like Eutropia. If Eutropia wasn't in blue-green, it would be a bad color combination, I assume, since there's not enough payoffs for the blue-green deck besides Eutropia. But Voracious Typhon is also an excellent escape creature at common. Green has the best escape creatures at common with the Loathsome Chimera and the Voracious Typhon. So those are two excellent green commons along with Warbriar's Blessing. But here we're just going to take our bomb. Maybe we end up drafting Azorius Boggles again. Maybe we can end up drafting Azorius Control. I think Azorius Control can fit well with the Dream Trawler plan. I think the Azorius Boggles plan can still work since you have a lot of threats to deploy and you can eventually just drop your Dream Trawler and win the game. So there you have it. Let's pick up the Dream Trawler and hopefully let's draft a nice Azorius deck. Followed by the Dream Trawler, there is an interesting option. There is a Reverend Hoplite versus Iroh's Blessing. Ichthyomorphosis is a fine removal spell, but it's a pretty bad one since the opponent also has a also gets an extra chump blocker, but it's pretty desperate removal if you need one. Um, if you need one um, in any blue deck, and again, this is the reason why blue isn't great. They don't have any good escape creatures. They don't have any good removal, but they do have excellent card draw at common that can help us find our Dream Trawler. So it's a reason, I guess, to be staying in blue in this set. I guess there's also Mystic Repeal, I forgot to mention, which is a fine interaction spell. There's a lot of enchantment creatures in this set, and for 1 green, it's very efficient, just getting rid of those enchantment spells, answering Warbriar's Blessings, of course. But even then, I mean, even if they cast their enchantments fight spell like Warbriar's Blessing or Iroh's Blessing, this trigger is still gonna happen on the stack, so it's still gonna enter the battlefield and trigger. I mean, so the Mystic Repeal won't stop that. But there's again a lot of enchantment creatures in the set, and they're pretty expensive and large, so Mystic Repeal can bomb it and get the job done. So here is just an option between these 3 cards. Flicker Fate would also be reasonable. Given that we took a Dream Trawler, I think we just have to take the Reverend Hoplite here. This is also double white, so it does provide some nice, neat little white devotions. Reverend Hoplite, it's not an amazing body, obviously. 5 mana 1/2 is pretty bad, but if you have a nice white devotion synergy deck, you can just generate a bunch of 1/1s to chump block all day, or you can go wide and just kill the opponent out of nowhere. It's a fine curve topper. I don't mind playing in a white deck, and it's actually pretty good if you can get the white devotion plan getting. Otherwise, we could just take the Iroh's Blessing, maybe hedge on abandoning the Dream Trawler and moving into like a red deck, possibly red-black again. But I think this time we're just going to take, we're still going to play a good card like the Reverend Hoplite and try to force the Dream Trawler since I'm tired of playing red-black sacrifice. So we'll take a Reverend Hoplite here. I think it definitely beats the Rose Blessing if we want to play Dream Trawler. Here we do have an access to a Sunmane Pegasus and Pious Wayfarer. I do like Pious Wayfarer in the Azorius decks, especially with Sentinel's Eyes. You can enhance this and make this into a flying threat that can gain you life and stabilize. It's a flying white creature for the Revenant Hoplite as well to provide devotion. Pious Wayfarer, I don't like it too much in Azorius Flyers since you're not trying to trigger Constellation too much and attack in with large ground creatures or double strikers. But it can still be a fine 1-drop. Flicker of Fate is also nice to help flicker our Reverend Hoplite, flicker our Omens, flicker the opponent's creature that's about to get enchanted onto, flicker our Starlight Mantles, our enchantments. This is actually a pretty versatile and powerful card in this set. Best common overall is Voracious Typhon, followed up by maybe Blight Breath Catoblepus for the heavy black devotion deck. If we took the Iroh's Blessings in this pack, I think we'd still be looking at Sunmane Pegasus to keep our Dream Trawler plan alive. But we will be gambling whether or not we want to end up in black-red with Black Devotion as our main theme, or a nice red-green Power 4 Matters deck with the Voracious Typhon. But I'm so happy that we kind of stuck with the Hoplite, so now we can take an easy pick of taking a Sunmane Pegasus, which is a very good flyer. Here, there is a Lagona Ban Storyteller, okay? Not a bad card, especially if it can fetch back an enchantment creature or enchantment-based removal spell, like Ichthyomorphosis or Dreadful Apathy back on top of your library. Obviously bad if you're playing to mill yourself, but we're not playing to mill ourselves, I think. Flicker of Fate also fine, but we constantly don't have any synergy with it. I don't mind 1 or 2 copies of these, but they do get bad in multiples since you do want to deploy threats. Best common in this pack has to be the Warbriar's Blessing. So, I mean, I guess if we were, if we second picked the Iroh's Blessing, then took either Voracious Typhon or Blight Breath Catoblepus, we would be looking at this Warbriar's Blessing. But I think I would still have taken the Sunmane Pegasus if I took the Iroh's Blessing over the Reverend Hoplite, given that I have a Dream Trawler. So I think we're in the right direction. Yeah, here I think the Lagona Span Storyteller is fine. There's a decent ground blocker, and if you're going to play a flying, a heavy flying deck, you do need a good ground blockers, and the Laguna Span Storyteller at 4 toughness can provide a bit of a tankiness onto the ground. It's also a white colored card, so it can provide devotion for the Reverend Hoplite. So yeah, don't mind a Laguna Band Storyteller here. We can pick up more enchantments in the future, and this can have nice synergy. Otherwise, I think we'd be looking at the Warbriar's Blessing here, and maybe potentially move into white green, but I think the Laguna Span Storyteller is good enough that we'll just take it here. Okay, nothing amazing. I guess more red-black sack cards, but we're tired of that. There's a Brine Giant if you have a lot of enchantments, but we currently don't have much. And even in their blue-white usually have a bit of constellation synergy with enchantments, of course, but still not so heavy that you want to play a Brine Giant. Brine Giant hasn't impressed me so far. I guess you can maybe play this best in a blue-green constellation deck, which doesn't come a lot together a whole lot often, but it can be a fine beefy creature as a curve topper. I don't mind just taking a Flicker of Fate, fine interaction spell. Can kind of save, plays well the Lagona Band Storyteller, plays well with the Reverend Hoplite, plays well with any future removal tricks. Nice combo of the Dreadful Apathy, since you can exile, and on the stack you can flicker it onto another creature, so Flicker of Fate has a lot of utility. It's a very good white common in this set, I believe, and white is a good color. Now we have some nice red-black cards, Venomous Hierophant and the Dreamstalker Manticore. I could take my second Flicker, otherwise Triumphant Surge can be okay removal. Not amazing, but instant speed, destroying a creature and gaining 3 life is no joke. So don't mind taking a Triumphant Surge here for a sideboard to kind of diversify. I guess we can pick up a second Flicker of Fate later. Don't really want to take too many of them. Otherwise, I guess we could speculate on white-red, but this isn't really a white-red card. Like it's black-white, but white doesn't have any escape synergy unless I pick up an Elspeth's Planeswalker or any other black escape creature. So I think I'll take a Triumphant Surge for now. We might or might not end up playing it. And I don't mind me taking a Glory Bringers as a fine 4-drop. That does reward you for going wide a bit, since it can give your creatures +0/+1. I think it does beat a Riptide Turtle, which would also be a fine blocker in the white-blue Flyers deck, so it can help play defense. So it's actually kind of close here, I think, between the Glory Bringers and the Riptide Turtles, but I think the Glory Bringers is just a better card. It's another enchantment creature that can enable Constellation. Also, you can get back the Lagonis Band Storyteller, but it's not a high priority to get back, I think. We'll just take a Glory Bearers here. I guess I don't mind a Starlight Mantle. It's the card that you need in the white-blue Boggles deck. Outside of it, I don't like Starlight Mantle outside of the white-blue deck. I guess it's fine the red-blue Flash deck, but again, it doesn't come together a whole lot often. Maybe it can protect a green creature if you're in blue-green Constellation. It can protect your Eutropia, perhaps an also trigger Constellation, but this is going to be at its best in what we're drafting, and hopefully we can maybe pick up a Staggering Insight or Commanding Presence in the future pack for the Starlight Mantle to get better, so we'll take it here. Okay, we could end up splashing. Maybe we can just take a Traveler's Amulet. Altar of Pantheon also helps you splash, but it's only great if you can control a god, or I guess a legendary enchantment, or a demigod to help you gain life. But still not a card that I'm too high on. I guess it can help me ramp to Dream Trawler if I need it. So yeah, we'll take an Altar. I don't know, it's not really playable in this set, I think. But maybe just having a ramp spell if we pick up too much top end can be fine, so I'll just put this in the sideboard for now. Yeah, and there's no respect for the red-black sacrifice deck. Now we're seeing our late Rage Scar Berserker, but we'll take an Underworld Dreams for the vault. I think in a real-life pod I would hate drop the Plummet to prevent our Flyers from getting answered, but we'll just take another Underworld Dreams. Yep, no respect for red-black sacrifice, but we're fine. We have a nice powerful bomb we're drafting into. We have a pretty decent number of white creatures already, so we just need to make sure that we get some white spells in the next pack. And what do we open? There's another Sunmane Pegasus. The best card in this pack is by far the Drag to the Underworld. I could also speculate on the Rise to Glory, as if I want to pivot into white-black, or if I want to splash it. I don't really have any dreadful apathies to go along with this. The Dream Trawler already has Hexproof already, so I don't think I need to recur it. I think we just take a Sunmane Pegasus here. Unfortunately, not an amazing pack, but it is what it is. We did open up a Dream Trawler, and it's something that we kind of want to force, so we'll take a Sunmane Pegasus. Actually, the best card could arguably be, yeah, it could be Drag to the Underworld. I can actually imagine taking Drag to the Underworld over Nylea's Keen Eye, given that black is so deep in this set. Obviously, it's a nice way to discount your creature spells. It's a very nice late game card. It can also feel escape, and it can help you find creatures, of course. So I wouldn't mind testing out Nylea. I think it's a good card. I don't know if it's worth taking over a solid black removal spell in the set. The Devotion from Gods don't come up too often. I think the best god is by far Heliod, since it also can give a creature lifelink, and whenever a lifelink creature connects, you can gain the +1/+1 counter. So that's actually pretty good. The black god wants you to be in the black-red sack. The green god, like this one, wants you to be playing the heavy green creature deck. And blue god can be nice to help flicker and lock down creatures. But here we'll just take a Sunmane Pegasus. That's another good 4 drops. Ooh, there we go. Rewarded Staggering Insights. The uncommon signpost uncommon. Sorry, I'm hiccuping here. Bear with me a moment. Alright, I think the hiccups have cleared, and Staggering Insight, the uncommon signpost for the white-blue Flyers deck, and we do have 2 Flyers already that can go along with it. This can just win the game out of nowhere if you can constantly protect your threats with the Staggering Insight, as you saw from one of my draft videos. Otherwise, between Thassa's Intervention and Dawn Evangel, I think Thassa's Intervention is definitely better than Dawn Evangel, but the double blue could definitely interfere with our Reverend Hoplite, trying to get high devotion to white. Fortunately, we don't have to decide between these two, but the Dawn Vengeful can also be a fine ground blocker. But I'll take a Staggering Insight for now. Just excellent for the white-blue Azorius Flyers deck. Here we have an interesting choice. We can take our 4th Sun main Pegasus, but we do have a good number of 4-drops already. The Captivating Unicorn can be a fine curve topper as well. We could consider the Heliod's Punishment as a way to lock down a creature temporarily. Also triggers Constellation. I guess we also have a Flicker of Fate to reset it. But overall, if we're going to be in a controlling deck, I don't know if we want this. But our deck is shaping out to be kind of just a blue-white Flyers deck, so we could be pretty aggressive. And locking down a creature for 4 turns is a long time. So it's not a bad idea taking the Heliod's Punishment here. Otherwise, there's a Captivating Unicorn, which is a fine curve topper on 5. And it can get blockers out of the way. Or Riptide Turtle, which is a fine blocker on 2. And again, we have a lot of 4s. I don't think we need a Sun main Pegasus. Currently, we don't have a ton of removal, so I don't mind the Heliod's Punishment here. Again, best in a hyper-aggressive white deck. But it's still fine. I think if we're able to lock down a big ground blocker for a couple of turns, and again, with some Flyers, we can definitely steal some games. So we'll take a Heliod's Punishment here. Riptide Turtle versus Omen of the Sun. There's also Eidolon, but it's 8 mana, draw 3. It's going to take a long time to get there. Best card in this pack is by far the Inevitable End and Siona, Captain of the Pyles. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So really here it's a pick between Riptide Turtle and the Omen. Omen can provide some devotion for the Reverend Hoplites. It also has some decent go wide synergy with the Glory Bearers, but I don't know if giving a creature +0/+1 is worth anything. Sorry, just hiccuping again. But I also don't have any 3-drops. But given the fact that we're more focused on white devotion, I think I just take an Omen of the Sun here. The Riptide Turtle is a fine flash blocker as well. Like, it can be pretty decent in our deck. But I think we just kind of need some chump blockers on the ground if we're trying to stay alive and win in the air. So we'll take an Omen of the Sun. But the Turtle wouldn't be far off as well, I think. Here, a pretty interesting decision. We have an Hero Deprive, which can fill a row at 2. Sentinel's Eyes, which does play well with the Hero Deprive. We pick up one later. And we do have Reverend Hoplite to kind of go wide. With an Omen of the Sun, we don't have to prioritize it that much, I think. I guess I'm hiccuping again, so sorry if you're hearing this. Bear with me. Sentinel's Eyes is also pretty good with our 2 Flyers here. So it's a pretty interesting choice. I mean, this is pretty nice pumping all of our creatures if we can get a Sentinel's Eyes in the future. But I don't think we're really a heroic deck. The Sentinel's Eyes is just a nice escape card that we can get back over and over. But is it really that necessary? We might just need some 2-drops here. Otherwise, I don't know how we're going to be a functional deck. I think the game plan is that we're mostly going to fly over and then rely on our ground blockers to kind of hold the fort, while we also draw our Dream Trawler. So I think maybe having the Sentinel's Eyes could just be better here. Nice way to kind of enhance our Sun main Pegasus so they can gain a bunch of life. Now Helios Pilgrim, pretty excellent card. Fine 3-drop. Also finds us our aura like Staggering Insight, the Punishment, and the Starlight Mantle. Seems pretty clear here. Otherwise, I wouldn't mind a Stern Dismissal as a fine interaction spell, in case we're playing against a deck with lots of punk tricks and expensive creatures. But we'll take a Heliod's Pilgrim here. There's an Ichthyomorphosis. There's also Birth of Molest, which I don't hate. It's a fine 2-drop. Also makes a wall, so that's pretty good. It also finds our plane, gains us 2 life, so it can be a decent replacement card for the Riptide Turtle. I don't really like Indomitable Will. Karametra's Blessing is fine with the Staggering Insight, but we have a Starlight Mantle already, and it's only temporary. That's the only problem. The +2/+2 that is, and it only works with enchanted creatures and enchantment creatures. So I mean, I guess it's almost like a Staggering Insight, but the fact is Starlight Mantle can land onto any creature even if they aren't enchantment creatures. So I don't know how high I put Karametra's Blessing, but I do like Birth of Molest a lot. Makes a good ground blocker, gains a bit of life, helps us find and fix our land drops. So it's already a pretty decent 2-for-1. Essentially, the Ichthyomorphosis could also be a fire and removal spell we can search up, and we currently don't have any great removal. I wouldn't even count Heliod's Punishment as solid removal. But I'll take a Birth of Meletis here, and this can just be the right deck for it. I have a lot of 4s already. I don't think I need a Nyxborn Sea Guard. Although a pretty good ground blocker. Guess I can take the Soul Guide Lantern. I can even main deck this to deal with escape threats. Also, you can also just cycle it and draw a card if that doesn't happen. There's Rise to Glory, but I don't know if we're going to splash. It's pretty decent with the Heliod's Punishment. It's pretty decent if we want to bring back a creature from the graveyard, but I think the Hero to Pride makes sense here. Another fine 2-drop. We do have a bit of a go wide theme. So with the Ominous Sun and the Reverend Hoplite, sometimes maybe we can pump the Hero to Pride and get in a huge attack. Plays pretty well the Sentinel's Eyes too, so I'm not going to sleep on it. Let's just take the Hero to Pride. Now we can just take a Dawn Evangel as a fine 3-drop ground blocker. Can bring back the Hero to Pride, I guess, if an aura... If one of our creatures died with an aura attached to it. I don't think it's super amazing, but it's okay. It's easy to cast. It's a fine 3-drop. Now we can just take a Riptide Turtle. There's also Deny the Divine. How much instant speed do we have? We do have an Omen of the Sun. We have a Flicker of Fate. Starlight Mantle. So not a lot of instant speed. It's a fine card, but don't really value counter spells too highly in limited. So I think I'll take a Riptide Turtle as another decent ground blocker that can hold the fort. And I'm hicking up again, so hiccuping again, so bear with me. Don't think I need a Wings of Hubris. Usually white have enough flyers that we don't need to play this, but we'll just throw in a sideboard, and then do we get reward? Yes, we do. We opened up arguably the best card, the best blue card in this entire set. Come on, with both Kiora, Best of Sea God, and Dream Trawler. I definitely want to draft a control deck now. Just an easy pick. Not only do you create a giant hexproof creature, but you can also just tap everything down so it can attack, and you also steal a card. This card is incredibly broken. I'm happy that blue actually got some busted mythics and rares in this set, given that all their commons are mostly lackluster, besides the card draw spells like Omen of the Sea and Thirst for Meaning. But now we opened up a pretty busted blue card, which I'm happy to play. So I'll happily take it here. If this wasn't in his pack, I think I would take the Archon of Falling Stars. This is just a powerful 2-for-1. A 4/4 body is a nice flyer. Pretty expensive though. But if it manages, it's just a nice attacker in the air. And if it dies, you can just return an enchantment from the graveyard to the battlefield right away. Like, we can bring back a Staggering Insight, Heliod's Punishment, enchantment creatures, etc. So definitely a strong card. But here, easy Kiora's Best of Sea God. Happy that I'm drafting blue-white now instead of black-white. Here we're just going to take one of the best blue commons in the set, Thirst for Meaning. Should try to find our Kiora, the Best Sea God, or a Dream Trawler. We also don't have a lot of flood protection in this deck, so if we end up flooding, we could be in very deep trouble. Otherwise, Caliphate isn't amazing if I'm focusing on White Devotion. I don't even think it's a great card in general. It's probably the worst of the Devotion creature. At least Reynada can give 1/1 counters. At least Anax can leave behind 1/1 sack tokens. At least Timrid can exile. And at least Daxos can gain you some life. But Caliphate, you don't really want to be aggressive in blue, so giving blue power equal to your devotion to blue is not something that you want. Better was toughness, but yeah. There's also Haktos, pretty busted red-white card, but red-white doesn't come together a whole lot. But here, I think we'll just take a Thirst for Me. I think it beats Eyeline. I think it beats the second Sentinel's Eyes. And we do need a way to prevent Flood. How good is a Favorite of Iros? It's pretty good if we want to be aggressive. How many constellation synergies do we have with it? We have Kiora, the Best Sea God. Glory Bearers isn't bad. Ominous Sun isn't bad. Dawn Evangel isn't bad. But from Meletis isn't bad. Sentinel's Eyes. Flicker. The Flicker Enchantment, Heliod's Punishment, Starlight Mantle, Staggering Insight. So I don't mind having a bit of an aggro package. It doesn't make sense sometimes to draft a half aggro, half blue deck. But I think it beats the second Flicker. I mean, I guess second Flicker can flicker Kiora, Best of Sea God again, but honestly, I mean, flickering it once is already enough. I mean, you don't even need to flicker it. I guess it can also flicker a Reverend Hoplite, but Iroh's Blessing in a vacuum is probably better. Probably don't know if we need it in our deck, but still fine ground attacker. Well, Transcendent Envoy, I don't hate as a fine 2-drop. It can make our aura spells cost 1 less. So cards like Starlight Mantle can get a decent discount. It's a decent flyer to equip with the Staggering Insight. Can give us a discount for the Heal Out's Punishment, and is pretty decent with the Sentinel's Eyes. I think we have enough at 3 already. Could just take a Transcendent Envoy. Also enables Constellation. That's a Constellation creature. Don't think we're ever playing double Riptide Turtle. We have a 6-drop and a 7-drop, so I don't think we need Sea God Scorn. We are lacking playables, so we could just main deck, I don't know, Triumph Surge, but I don't mind a second Glory Bearers as a fine ground blocker on 4. Because this is more like a turn 3 play. We have a bit of a go wide theme here. Don't mind it. We have enough to hold the ground that I don't need like Sea God Scorn, which is a fine like interaction spell. Like if we're looking to be aggressive, this card is actually pretty good since it can just bounce a bunch of stuff back. But I think our late game is settled with Dream Trawler and Kiora's Best of Sea God. We don't need it. We'll just take a Glory Bearers as another fine ground blocker. Could just play a second hero. Don't think I'm playing the Triton Wave Rider since I have enough 4s already. Don't mind me a second flicker. Stinging Lionfish, how good is it? One card that we're willing to flash, but I don't even know we're going to main deck it. Thirst for Meaning, Omen. I guess there's a Turtle. Starlight Mantle. It's still not a good 2-drop. This stat line is pretty poor. I don't mind second Flicker of Fate. It's pretty powerful, especially all these nice enter the battlefield abilities like Reverend Hoplite, Laguna Span Storyteller, Kiora Best of Sea God. Heliod's Pilgrim is a nice combo with it, of course. Omen the Sun is a nice combo with it. So yeah, we have a lot of Flicker synergy. You can also protect one of our creatures as well. So we'll take a second to Flicker of Fate. How good is Thaumaturg's Familiar? I don't think we need a Naiad of the Hidden Coves. Don't know if we need Naiad. Like, again, we don't have a lot of Flash. Let's put the Flash stuff aside. Let's put it over here. I guess it's fine if we want to make our stuff cost 1 less. I don't even know if this matters, to be honest. I mean, honestly, maybe we just want the extra flyer. Just so we can attach the Staggering Insight onto something. Or not. We probably don't need the extra flyer at all. Let's go back to the quick drafts. This is really hard. And the screen is taking forever to load. Okay, never mind. Oh, I guess we have to deal with this glitch. That's unfortunate. I wish I could just throw it into the sideboard, but unfortunately, so this is pretty annoying. So our 4s are good. The 3s actually look pretty good already. Like, we probably don't need Naiad at all. The Omen of the Sun actually helps us go wide, the Hero of the Pride. I don't know. Maybe we just take the Familiar and put it in the sideboard. I highly doubt we're playing it. I don't think we need a second Dawn Evangel. Just take a Deny the Divine in case we end up main decking it, perhaps. I think this deck is just good enough. We can even just cut the Triumphant Surge. Although we don't have a lot of removal in this deck, that's the only issue. But hopefully this Starlight Mantle can get out of the way once I draft all of this. Alright, please get out of here. Don't interfere with my mouse. Okay, there we go. Okay, it's gone. So yeah, late game is good. Nice 5-drop with all his White's Devotion going on. Triumphant Surge could be cuttable, but we are lacking removal, so we might have to main deck it. Omen the Sun seems fine, along with Heliod's Pilgrim, Favored, and Dawn Evangel. Dawn Evangel is not amazing, so maybe Naiad was just a better choice. I could also just ditch the Dawn Evangel for a Thaumaturg's Familiar to have an extra flyer. Also can help us Scry for 1. I don't know how good it is. This is actually not a really good card. We have Double Flicker. The Deny Divine could also be a card I can play. I'm playing 14 creatures, so I maybe need some more creatures on the deck. I don't mind the Heliod's Punishment. The Riptide Turtle I don't mind. Starlight Mantle and Staggering Insight I don't mind. So we have a bunch of 2s that can help block the ground, play the early game defense. I could even just cut a hero. Like, how aggressive are we? I actually don't mind a Deny Divine 2 to maybe play some defense. I think this is a 17 lander with what we have, so we have to make 3 cuts. I don't mind the Sentinel's Eyes. I guess the Sentinel's Eyes is pretty good as a hero. Outside of that, I don't know how good it's going to be. Maybe it's really not that good and I can just cut one. We might need the Helios Punishment. I think we might need the Triumphant Surge too, given our lack of removal. Like, we only have the Helios Punishment. Triumphant Surge as removal. Maybe Kiora is the best to see guy, but that's 7 mana. Maybe we can flicker something. So we don't have enough removal, I don't think. So I think we were forced to play this Triumphant Surge. Maybe we can ditch the Dawn Evangel. It doesn't seem like an amazing card. We do have enough stuff on 3, I think. It's a fine ground blocker at the very least. Maybe we can just ditch the hero. Yeah, maybe we just ditch the Deny Divine. I don't think we want to keep up counter spells. They're not amazing and limited. Especially since this is conditional. It can only deal with creatures or enchantment spells. It doesn't deal with any instant speed removal spells, so that's not great. Also, we do have a decent amount of instant speed, but I still don't think it's great. I do like the double Flicker of Fate, though, in this deck. It can buy us a lot of time. We can flicker back our enchantments. Maybe I just ditch the Omen of the Sun. I mean, the Omen of the Sun also helps us scry, makes 2 1/1s. It's not bad. Maybe we just ditch a hero to pry. We just throw away a Dawn Evangel, and we can just call it a day. Favorite of Iros also isn't amazing, but sometimes if you can load up some enchantments and this can gain double strike, it can be quite decent. Or I can just cut a 4-drop. Maybe we just don't need a second Glory Bearers. Like, we do have enough ground blockers on 4, and we could just lower the curve a bit, so maybe I can ditch the Glory Bearers here, and maybe just play out the second hero of the Pride. Since I don't even know how relevant this ability is, to be honest. It's still a 3 toughness blocker I don't hate, but the hero could provide us a 2-drop that we need early on to help play some defense, I think. And the Riptide Turtles and the Birth of Malaeus can help hold off some creatures on the ground. Maybe we just don't need the heroes. Like, sure, they're fine with Sentinel's Eyes, but I think we're going to equip them onto our Flyers. And we're mostly, I don't know if we're going to be attacking on the ground too often. But it's not, I guess it's nice to have some 2/2s if the opponent doesn't get anything and they can maybe chip in some damage or trade off. So it's actually not that bad. I actually don't mind main decking a Triumphant Surge, as I am lacking removal in a sense. It says I have 12 creatures. I guess this counts as 13, 14 creatures maybe. 15 with the Birth of Malaeus. So I do have a decent amount of creatures already. I do like the double Flicker of Fate. I think it's very excellent in this deck. With the Hoplite, with the Kiora Best to See God, with the Laguna Band Storyteller, getting back our enchantment with the Helios Pilgrim. With the Birth of Malaeus is pretty nice, and it can bounce back our Starlight Mantles to give hexproof. It can also move our Staggering Insight onto another creature. So I think this is great. Mana base definitely slightly favoring white, but we do need some couple of blue cards. We don't have a lot of blue though until turn 6 and turn 7. So I could actually see myself going 10-7, as crazy as it seems, because we don't have anything we want to play onto besides a turtle, I think. And these cards we're not going to cast exactly on 2 as well. The Thirst for Mean we might cast on 3, but with 7 we should be fine. Alternatively, I could just cut a land, but I don't really want to go down a land if I'm playing all these late game cards. I'm also thinking here, yeah, I mean, the hero isn't bad. It just lowers our curve, and we don't really need an extra 4-drop with 2 good ground blockers already. We just want to lower our curve. I'm just debating whether or not we want the Dawn Evangel and the Thaumaturg's Familiar in this deck. Thaumaturg gives us an extra scry. It's a decent flyer to go along with a Staggering Insight in case we don't have enough flyers. The Dawn Evangel is a good ground blocker, maybe. The Familiar isn't that bad in our deck, the more that I think about it. Could use an extra flyer with a Staggering Insight if it comes together. Obviously, it doesn't really hit any. It's obviously pretty bad if we can't get a staggering insight on it. So maybe it's just fine like this. I mean, we can still give staggering insight to a ground creature, and hopefully we can steal some games. Let's try this out. It's not really a Boggles deck, but it's pretty broken. All right, we'll just try this out, see how it goes. Hopefully, we can get a nice 7-win victory with this deck. But I'll definitely be making some tweaks during this draft if something catches my attention off. I guess we do have a lot of go wide synergy with the Reverend Hoplite, so I guess the Hero to Pride isn't that bad. We just don't really have too many ways to enable Heroic with it. Unless we target it with the Sentinel's Eyes, of course, but we need exactly the Sentinel's Eyes. Or Starlight Mantle, or Flicker of Fate, I don't know. We'll see. Opening hand, we do have a Hero, Transcendent Envoy. I guess we can just get to turn 7 and win the game, and eventually get double blue. We're on a draw. I think this is a fine keep. We have Flicker to play defense as well. Another black deck, okay. There's our blue mana for the Kiora Best of Sea God eventually. But we could just hide that info until we reach that decision. Here, Hero can attack past the 1/3, but if he decides to attack, I can swing back for 2. Don't have any auras for Transcendent Envoy, so I think we'll just put out the Hero to Pry. Makes sense. He can kill, of course, but that's also fine. Another red-black sack deck, of course. So the Underworld Raid Charger is going to be a bit of an annoyance. Guess I don't mind just playing Island and Transcendent Envoy, and we can keep the 1 blue. We can also just double block the 3/3, which I also don't mind. He can eventually escape it, but I don't really want to keep taking 3 per turn. So I'll probably double block into this, trade for the Hero to Price, since it can't attack past the 1/3 anyways. And if he tries to use a trick, we'll just use the Starlight Mantle to protect our creature from getting owned. So we'll try this here. Find double block, and hopefully he doesn't keep escaping this. I just want to get to turn 7 with the Kiora Best of Sea God. Okay. I guess now we don't have the discount for Starlight Mantle. He can Mogi Favor and kill our Hero to Pride. So that's what I'm assuming. That's the reason why I think he killed our Thaumaturg's Familiar. I guess he has a second one. Okay. At least we prevented 3 damage for now. And hopefully we can get to turn 7. We'll just have to stay back and take 3. Keep up our Starlight Mantles, our Flicker of Fates. I don't really want 2 for 1 myself with a Flicker of Fate, so with a Starlight Mantle, so I'm fine just staying back. If he has a removal spell, I guess I don't mind flickering the hero and maybe trading for the 3/3. Mogi Favor, okay, I could just trade here. Like, it's not a bad idea trading for this. Iroh's Blessing. I could flicker the Lampad. Alternatively, I can use a Starlight Mantle. Alternatively, I can just flicker the hero. Let's see what he tries here. So he's going to target the 2/2. I can use a Starlight Mantle onto it, but I probably want to trade into this 5/2. If I Starlight Mantle onto it now, I guess I can hold off the 2/4. But I still think I want to trade off the 5/2. So I think I actually flicker it here. And then I can trade for the 5/2. And I don't want to be taking 5 per turn, so I'm fine trading for the Underworld Charger. I'll take 2 from the Lampad. Okay, so that's fine. He's staying back. 2 is fine. We can deal with this. We just need to get to turn 7 and win the game, essentially. And flooding out is not bad. We do need double blue, though, but we have 2 more turns to get to double blue, so if we can resolve Kiora Best of Sea God and stabilize, we should be in decent shape. Okay, definitely blocking now. So we don't take a million damage. You could have a pump trick here. And then we'll just Starlight Mantle, since I don't really want to lose my blocker. That's fine. He also doesn't get the Scry. Yeah, I don't really want him getting the Scry, and I also don't want to be taking 5 per turn. He just need one more card in the graveyard. I guess he can escape an Underworld Charger on 5. Here we're just going to cast a Heliod's Pilgrim. I don't think we want to grab Staggering Insight because we don't have any creatures that can attack past it. I think we want to get the Heliod's Punishment so we can deal with the escape creature for 4 turns, which is very important, so we'll just take it here. And we'll just play out land, and once we get double blue, we'll just win the game with the Kiora Best of Sea God. And there's no really any board wipes in black that I need to be aware of. Sure, another Fateful End. I'm fine if these keep eating removal spells. He's just gonna attack him for 2. He could just attack into it. Like, I'm probably not gonna block the 2 for it as anyway. So, all right, Sunmane Pegasus, excellent. We're just gonna play that. He already knows we have Heliod's Punishment. I could have tapped much more better, maybe to keep up mana representing a Starlight Mantle, but we're still fine. We'll keep land in hand in case he has a way to whatchamacallit. Okay, so I guess we're just keeping lands. We're just going to activate the Sunmane Pegasus here. And then we're just going to lock down the Nyxborn Marauder. He could use a land pad to sack it, which I don't mind. But I don't want to take 4 forever. I do want to constantly connect with lifelink so I can eventually stabilize. So I think I'll get greedy here and fire off the Heliod's Punishment for now. And we just need 1 more blue to cast Kiora's Best of Sea God, so we're okay. We'll keep lands in hand in case he has Aspect of Lamprey, and we'll just pass. And this has Summoning Sickness, so he can't tap it. But he could just sack it here. I don't mind if he just sacrifices. If he escapes everything here, that'll be pretty good. Great Merchant, okay, so opponent's just going to take it slow. He can also attack with a 2-4, but I'll just block it here. Just need our single blue source, please. Just one more time, Theros gods. Give me my blue source. And there we go. Kiora's Best of Sea God is just going to win me the game here. Let's just drop him down. And then we can steal their best creature. Do we have to attack for 2? I don't mind attacking for 2 here. Or I can stay back. There's really no reason for me to attack. We'll just stay back. I can tap him down for 2 turns, so this is really good. And it'll be funny if I top deck a Dream Trawler here too. But now he's forced to tap everything. So he doesn't. So he also doesn't have an extra turn to So the punishment is delayed essentially. We can get him for 10, which is quite nice. We can flash in the Omen of the Sun end of turn, and also sack it to Scry 2. So I think we're fine playing out of land. We're fine just saying go. He can escape the Underworld Charger, that's fine, he can't block with it. But we have a bunch of 1/1s that can hold it off, and we can also steal his best creature next turn, which I think we will steal the Underworld Charger if he reanimates it. But I guess he can always just sack the creature that we try to steal, so we could just steal the land pad. Guess he's just trying to escape the Underworld Rage Charger, so we'll just steal his 2/4, because if we attempt to try to steal the Underworld Charger, he's just going to sacrifice it. Or we can just steal it and sack it. I mean, that's also not bad, and force him to sack it. That's also not a bad idea. Also gets rid of a blocker. I guess this can't block anyways. I don't mind a Thirst for me to find our creature. The Glory Bearers is also a pretty decent blocker, so I don't mind just keeping all this. And it's a card we can also discard next turn. So now Kiora's Best of Seagull is going to try to resolve. Guess I just steal the land pad, right? And I can just stack my stuff and kill him. So yeah, I guess we just steal the land pad here. He could sacrifice in response, of course. But just, I guess it's a little bit worse than stealing the Underworld Charger. That's going to attack him for 5, but we don't care. We have a lot of life gain, a bunch of chump blockers. Let's just main phase this Thirst for Meaning. We also have Triumphant Surge. Let's just discard the Glory Bringers. And let's Triumphant Surge away. Or I can just make a bunch of 1/1s. Let's just make a bunch of 1/1s, I think. And we can just swing back here. And we can just chump block all day. No big problem. And then we can just win the game eventually by alphaing next turn. Venomous Hierophant. Okay, that's going to hold off my 8/8, but I do have a flyer. That's going to feel Escape from him to make another Underworld Charger next turn. Maybe Moga's favor on a Venomous Hierophant. I'm all for it. Yeah, you can't really win against Kiora Best of Sea God. Card is pretty broken. So yeah, game plan just play defense until we can drop our bombs. Obviously, that game, strangely enough, we didn't get our second blue source until like later. So I don't know if I need to add in an extra blue and go 9/8. Probably not. I really don't think I have to. Since I only have these double blue that I need to cast later. I need blue to cast Thirst for Meaning. So it's a pretty defensive deck. I actually don't think we're keeping up mana too often for the Deny Divine, so it's not going to be at its best. Glory Bearers is 4 mana, but we do have enough blockers. I could consider the Dawn Evangel over the Hero of the Pride, however. It's also not a very good card, unfortunately. But I guess it's a fine way to recur 2-drops that die if we have an aura attached to one of our creatures that we control. So I don't actually hate the Dawn Evangel. The hero is just not a very good blocker, so I guess I can cut a hero. I guess I might as well play the Familiar instead, since at least that can help me scry. And it's a flyer to go with my Starlight Staggering Insight, so yeah, maybe the Familiar can be fine. And then we're going still 10-7, I think. I think we have enough blue. We just have to hope that it's not like next game where, last game where I didn't get my blue source. But yeah, our game plan is just to halt the aggro opponents, find our bombs, and win, essentially. Decent opening hand. Well, we just get to turn 7 and win the game. We have a 2-drop, a 3-drop. We'll keep this, and a blue mana source. So not a bad opening hand. Helight's Punishment can also be cast for cheap, but it's not a card I want to use too early on. I want to use it on like a large creature in the late game. Alcia's pretty annoying. Okay. Birth of Meletus is pretty nice though. I don't mind using Birth right now, even though he does get in for 1 lifelink hit. It does thin out our deck quite nicely, and we want to get this down as early as possible to find our planes. So let's just thin out our deck, I think. Get the planes, make the wall next turn, take a bit of a hit here, and then we should be fine. We can also keep up mana for Ominous Sun if he decides to attack into the wall next turn. And he's probably going to do that just to gain life. Guess I don't mind playing an extra blue spell, or I'll just play out the plane since he knows about it, and we'll just pass. I actually want him to attack right here, so I can try to Omen and ambush this Alciad. Because this is going to be pretty annoying if he can protect Nice Bomb for next turn. So he doesn't play around it. Hopefully there's no pump spell, but I think I'm going to go for the Omen. And if he uses a pump spell, that's also fine. Since I can bait it out eventually. But putting 1 foot soldier in front of this is quite decent. Let's have him use a pump spell, please. But I do want to get rid of this Alcia. It's really annoying. Okay, at least it's gone. At least the Karametra's Blessing is gone, so I'm quite happy about that. And now, hope maybe we scry end of turn. Maybe we just play out the Transcendent Envoy, I think. And he's probably not going to attack into the wall, knowing that the 1/1 can trade for it, so I think we can safely attack for 1. But baiting out the Karametra's Blessing was quite nice there. Of course, the Alciad can get rid of protection, so my Peleus Punishment definitely gets worse in this matchup. But again, it's turn 7, win the game, Archon, okay? Of Sun's Grace. I could just use the Heliod's Punishment on it, but he's just going to sack the Alciad to it. This is quite difficult. Alternatively, I can just Dominatrix Familiar and maybe look for a land to get to turn 7. Or I can make him use his Alciad for 1. I mean, this isn't going to be great anyway, so I think we just use the punishment here on the 3/4. I want him to sacrifice with the Alciad, so I think we'll just attack for 2 here. And he doesn't have 1 generic to keep up, so I think we just make this weird play, force him to use the Alciad, and then we'll use the Dominatrix Familiar to scry for 1 and get a land on top. Eventually we can steal the Archon and win. How good Sentinel's Eyes? Not amazing. I think we'll just bottom it. I think we just want to hit our land drops and then steal the game with the Archon. I guess if we steal the Archon, we can still Kiora Best of Sea got it. Yeah, I definitely want him to sack this. So now we can get to turn 7. He's gonna attack in for 3. That's fine. He gains a bit of life. And then we'll Kiora Best of Sea God to win the game, or we'll just play out Dream Trawler. I guess Dream Trawler will just win us the game here. So it's not bad. I mean, we're forced to discard Kiora's Best of Sea God if he uses some hexproof trick, but I think it's fine discarding it since this is a really powerful card advantage engine. Do I do it here? I think I'm forced to do it. Kiora's Best of Sea God is really good though, but we do need a land off the top. I think we're forced to do this. And it can just win us the game, unfortunately. Fortunately, I guess he has a... If he has Dreadful Apathy, I'm going to be quite sad here. But I guess now we have to keep our cards. I wish I didn't top deck this. I hate to say it. But at least now the Dream Trawler can be utilized as card advantage, and he doesn't have Dreadful Apathy. So now we can start keeping lands in hand and swinging back and just try to win the game. Glory Bearers isn't bad. Maybe we just need the 2 cards in hand. Maybe we'll try it next turn, but we'll just stay back for now. I'm hoping he doesn't play any Constellation, otherwise he can hold off my Dream Trawler, which I don't want. Okay. Just concedes. Ditching Kiora Best of Sea God didn't feel great, since I was going to draw the land next turn and cast it, but I think I had to get the Dream Trawler, and I had to save the Dream Trawler, because the card advantage I think is much more important. Because if I didn't get a land drop for the Kiora's Best of Sea God next turn, losing the Dream Trawler would have been pretty horrendous there. So yeah. 2 powerful bombs in the same deck. Alright, well, we have a bunch of threes. We don't have any constellation to go with the favored. We're on the draw, so I don't know if I can keep this. I think it's fine. It's pretty bad if the opponent has a bunch of 2-drops, since the favored... I don't really want to trade a favored off for, like, a Rage Hound. But I think it's still a fine keep. Hopefully he's not a hyper-aggressive deck. And Birth of Malaise is an excellent 2-drop, helps us hit our land drops. Black-green, so it's going to be a slow game. Don't mind that. Like how this can just give us our land to ramp into our bombs. Also helps in our deck. Birth of Malaise is a good card, so don't sleep on that. I can always flicker the Birth to get another land drop to thin myself out, but I don't know if I want to do that yet. I don't really want to play it favored into the Hateful Eidolon. So, but I do need to eventually maybe get it out. We'll just Familiar. I don't mind if this dies. It gets a nice scry. We can find our bomb. Is Transcendent Envoy going to be good next turn? I'm going to play out land. It's a fine 2-drop, but it's not going to be very exciting. Guess we can play the 2-drop and keep up Hexproof, but it's not exciting. I think we'll just bomb it. It doesn't really attack past towards anything. So I'm fine scrying that to the bottom, so we can look for Dream Trawler and some of our bombs. Erasa is going to hold off our 1-3 flyer, so it wasn't great regardless. We'll just block off this 1-2. And he could kill our favorite of Iros this turn. But we're still fine just casting it, I think. It could run into a Mars Grasp, which would suck. But I do need to get it out there eventually. And I can just maybe deploy my Reverend Hoplite next turn, hopefully. Cataclysm is going to answer the 2-2, unfortunately, so we're going to have a pretty sad Reverend Hoplite, I think. Laguna Band Storyteller, that's not bad, getting back Birth of Malaise, and also gives us a bit of white devotion. Do I want to get Birth of Malaise? I don't hate it. It also thins our deck, so it's essentially drawing a card. So I don't mind doing that, and also increasing our white devotion. It's also a pretty good ground blocker, so I don't mind just casting the Birth again. I can also attack him for 1, but I do need some blockers up. I think he's going to sack this on his upkeep to find something. Next turn we can play out the Birth, keep up Flicker and Starlight Mantle to dodge a removal spell perhaps. Destiny Spinner is very good. I need to maybe deal with that eventually. But it's just going to keep making creatures, but I think the Birth is correct here. And we can just play out the Plains. It's essentially drawing a card, I say, you know. So I don't mind it. It might not be an actual playable, but it's still going to thin our deck a bit, so I don't mind just casting the Birth. We can even flicker the Birth if something was to happen. Next turn we can Reverend Hoplite and go wide. You could have a removal spell here. Okay, so he Mars Grasp this. I think we Starlight Mantle, and then we can keep a Flicker for the Starlight Mantle in the future. Since if I Flicker this, I don't really get any value, so I think we Starlight Mantle here. It's fine. And this is a really good ground blocker. And now we can also Flicker the Mantle and give another creature Hexproof. He can activate the ability, but who cares? We can block it quite nicely. And this just wastes his whole entire turn. Now I can create another wall to stall off the battlefield. Now we can cast Reverend Hoplites. Let's tap our mana efficiently. And then we can start going wide. And then it's nice to play this when you have a Birth of Malaise. So yeah, we're just here to just play defense until we can find our Dream Trawler or our Kiora Best to See God. But we're in really good shape here. Hierophant, okay, we can always trade off for that. It's not the end of the world. He can mill himself, make a giant creature. I guess this is a 5/5, so that's going to be quite annoying. I can also just Flicker the Birth of Malaise on my upkeep, maybe get another Plains. I don't know if that's worth it. It might be more important to Flicker the Laguna to get back a Starlight Mantle, or Flicker the Starlight Mantle, or Flicker the Birth. So I think I'm just going to let it resolve. Yeah, we'll just keep land, I think. We have enough lands to cast our stuff. We'll just stay back. Just play defense for now. He can escape the Underworld Charger, that's fine. I can always just flicker it. Like, flickering it isn't bad, because I do need to eventually deal with it. So let's just say go. Hopefully we get something good. Hero to prize, not amazing. Well, fine. I'll play it out. Don't really want to lose my Lagona since it has a lot of upside, so maybe we have to do some sort of weird block. Or I can just flicker away the Underworld Rage Hound, resetting it. Yeah, I think we're kind of forced to flicker it. Alternatively, I can place a bunch of stuff in front of it, but then I'll lose all my blockers. He'll just make another 1/1. I forgot that this answers the this generates a 1/1, so I think I'm fine just resetting it. That's just a random 3/3 that I can always hold off. Now we have a Sunmane Pegasus. We can give it Lifelink and Vigilance. So we're not attacking here. Again, we're just trying to find our bombs. I guess he can just make a giant constellation creature, but we can at least get rid of his land drops, perhaps. A 4/4, we can hold that one off. I'm actually fine if he goes for an all-out attack. We do have some good blocks. So the 3/3 is pretty annoying. That's also pretty annoying. I don't mind killing off his land, so what good blocks do I have? I can kill off the land, which is pretty nice. I guess I can always put a 0/4 wall in front of the 2/3. And I guess I don't mind just throwing 3 creatures in front of this, since it has trample. I guess we can go something like this. It's not bad. And we just take 3. Just want to kill as many enchantment creatures as possible so the Destiny Spinner doesn't grow. And we're also getting rid of a land, which is quite nice. And we can hold off this Underworld Charger forever, essentially. And we're just drawing a bunch of lands. I guess we'll just say go again. Even with Birth of Meletis thinning our deck, we're just top decking lands. So we're not in good shape. We could use something good here. Maybe a Dream Trawler, maybe our 8-drop. I don't know. At least we're playing defense quite nicely. This game is long, it's grindy. Cetizen Skirmisher, nothing too scary. Guess I don't mind trading for a 3/3 Death Touch. I have to get rid of it. So I guess Hero can go in front of it and a 1/2. I think my Lifelink Flyer is just much more important. So I think we'll just double block like this, get rid of it. We do get 2 for 1, but that's okay. The Death Touch just needs to go. Thirst for Meaning, excellent. So now hopefully we can find our nice bomb. Sure, you can make a bunch of 1/1s. I don't think I care. Okay, Dream Trawler's onto the battlefield. So we can discard 2 cards, maybe just discard 2 planes. Guess we can play out the Heliod's Pilgrim. What do we want here? Sentinel's Eye. I think we want to lock down maybe the flyer with the Heliod's Punishment and potentially use a Dream Trawler just to constantly draw cards off of it and hitting in for lifelink. Alternatively, the Staggering Insight. So he does have 5 power, but I guess with Staggering Insight on the Dream Trawler, that can just seal the deal, I think. But maybe I can Heliod's Punishment, lock it down, and then Dream Trawler and attack. So I think we're gonna do that. We're gonna keep lands in hand and cards to get the Dream Trawler to start attacking. It's a 5/5 land now, so I'm kind of in trouble. So I guess I'm forced to use my Sun main Pegasus. Alternatively, I can just take 10. Taking 10 is not good. I think we do need to deal with this enchantment creature. And maybe we need to look on Advanced Storyteller as a good ground blocker. So I think we still have to block like this. Unfortunately, we do have to lose the Sun main Pegasus, but I think it's worth it here. Hopefully he doesn't have a trick. Probably has a trick here. But maybe Dream Trawler can just win us the game. And we don't have to cast the punishment now. We can cast it next turn and start getting in there. Second Nylea's Forerunner, okay. Sure. We can get in some huge lifelink hits and just steal the game. Man, the Sentinel's Eyes is really nice. Alternatively, I can just cast a Sentinel's Eyes onto this. Cast a Staggering Insight. Yeah, let's just do that. Sentinel's Eyes on the Dream Trawler is pretty busted. I need to make sure I don't mill myself. I can also just lock down the 2-3 so it can stop making flying creatures. Huh. Guess I have to lock down the flyer. Otherwise, that's going to be a huge issue. Do I Staggering Insight here? Staggering Insight on the Thaumaturg's Familiar isn't bad, but it does get rid of a ground blocker that I might need. Guess I don't mind just drawing and winning the game. And gaining a bunch of life. I don't know if this is correct. But I mean, this is just going to win me the game, I assume so. Yeah, I don't think he can win this. We'll just pass. Keep up the land. Eventually, he's gonna lose all of his flyers. Sure, he's gonna scry here. We can keep up the hexproof. We can just win in the air with the Dream Trawler. Shadow Sphere, fine. We can still attack and win essentially. Sure. He could have a pump trick here. Guess I don't mind just putting a Lagona in front of the 4-4 if he decides to attack. Sure, gain life. I guess he's planning to escape it. But I don't really want to play into a pump spell, so I think we're just blocked with the Lagona here. He'll eventually escape it, that's fine. He'll run out of escape resources eventually. The Dream Trawler has Vigilance, so we can keep attacking, drawing cards with it. If we lose the Dream Trawler, I guess we lose, but we also, the good news is that we also have Kiora Best of Sea God in the deck. This is also quite nice too. We can also just flicker away the 5-5 before combat. So I guess we just pass here. And I don't mind just blocking off the 5-5. With the 5-7. And if he tries any shenanigans, guess I don't mind using Ominous Sun to block this as well. So let's see him attack. We're going to play out Omen and then double block the 6-6, and he has any tricks, we'll just use Flicker of Fate to flicker it. I think we have to go for this. Because I want to eventually exile his whole entire yard. I guess he's hoping to deck me, but with Kiora Best of Sea God, I should be fine here. I could have scryed. Okay, so but now this turn we can get a nice hit. Yeah, I probably need to scry end of turn. Guess I'm fine just playing out the Sunmane Pegasus now, and then we'll scry end of turn. Try to find our Kiora Best of Sea God. He's forced to tap this, so it's going to stay untapped 2 next turn. We can steal his flyer, or we can, and then we can tap everything. I mean, his reach creature and tap everything down. Hopefully, just scry end of turn because I do need Kiora Best of Sea God to win this. Because if I end up drawing all these cards, then that's going to be pretty bad. Sacrifices enchantment. Okay. We'll sacrifice the Starlight Mantle, I don't care. He's gonna eventually not have enough stuff to escape. So I need Kiora Best of Sea God now, otherwise we're not gonna win. Triumphant Surge is fine, but I do need the Best of Sea God instead. So we'll bottom both and hopefully we can find it off the top. So it's probably at the bottom of my deck, which I'm assuming I also have a flicker for it. But here this turn I think we're just going to activate the Vigilance here. Because we do have enough to cast Kiora if we are to top deck it. Attack with both of these. And we didn't find it still, so it's really at the bottom of our deck. So we do need to kind of dig even deeper, I guess, which sucks. Because we are decking ourselves. Okay, we still didn't find it, so that also sucks. We might as well just play out the Transcendent Envoy. There's really no Constellation synergies we need to be aware of. We'll play out land, say go. You can use a flyer to chump block for a turn, that's fine. I guess I could have flickered the Heliod's punishment, but I think I want to flicker Kiora Best of Sea God to maybe just close out the game ASAP. That's fine. We can always just flicker it if it gets out of hand. I just want Kiora the Best of Sea God. Why is it so hard? Where's my Kiora? Okay, we're at a high life total, but he's just gonna do that just to gain life. Where's Kiora? Come on, where's Kiora? Please give me Kiora, just off the top, please. Off the freaking top, give me Kiora Best of Sea God. Never mind, we didn't even get it. Alright, let's just attack with a Dream Trawler. Hopefully find Kiora. Hopefully we can tap everything down. I guess Kiora is literally this card. So we're gonna lose here. I guess we can just cast it now. Okay, let's just get down Kiora here. For an 8/8. We'll just play land. Might as well play out the Glory Bearers. I'm fine taking a bunch of damage from the Underworld Charger. I just need to get as much power into the battlefield as much as possible. Guess you can gain a bunch of life with the Shadow Spear, so that also sucks. I might not attack with the Dream Trawler now, since I could just end up decking myself. Sure, we'll just take 10, we'll kill it next turn. He's gonna gain 11, but we can just smash in for a ton. He's just trying to get enough life so I end up decking myself. So I can't afford to attack with Dream Trawler, otherwise I'll just die. So I guess we're forced to flicker Kiora Best to Sea God. I guess he gets an extra flyer, which also sucks. But we can tap everything down. And then we can make another 8/8 and attack in. Then we can move to combat, we can activate this. And hopefully we can just win the game. I don't know if we have enough damage. Yeah, unfortunately I think we lost due to the fact that Kiora was like at the bottom of our deck. Guess he can also just make a wall, and then we can try and surge it before it blocks. But he also gets a spider, which is stupid. So yeah, I think we lost. I wish it wasn't so far at the bottom of our deck, even though we scry 2. Now we can just chump block an 8/8, and we can just lose the game because he's at 39 life. Pretty unfortunate, to be honest. Yeah, pretty unfortunate. We'll just pass. Maybe we just end up drawing ourselves to death the next turn. Could have another chump blocker here too. I guess he can start making more enchantments with the Destiny Spinner. I guess now the Dream Trawler can die. Good game. Pretty unfortunate. If we had Kiora earlier, we would have won that. I swear. But it is what it is a luck of the draw. Kiora can't always be middle or top of my deck. I drew like 1,000,000 lands in that game. Pretty insane. Kiora was literally the last card in our library. Since we bombed both of those cards, and then, yeah, it wasn't until the third from the bottom that we got Kiora. So it was literally the bottom 2 cards. I mean, the last card in our library. Freaking crazy. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but you never know. Alright, Dream Trawler, whatever. Okay, Kiora. Let's get to turn 7 and win. Keep. And we can also start pressuring the opponent with a Heal-Ass Punishment and Favorite of Azorius, so that can maybe keep them back on defense and slow them down. Opponent starts with whites, okay. Play out the hero. I don't mind trading for the Leonin. It's a pretty nice trade. Alternatively, I could have kept the 2/2 back. But we're kind of trying to make the opponent think we're an aggro deck. Sunmane Pegasus gave me a bit of life. Well, the 3/3 is going to hold off our ground cards for the time being, so we'll just play out a Sunmane Pegasus. 2/2 can trade into the 3/1, and we'll stay back. Don't mind the 3-1 attacking. He could use a fight spell, of course. Could use a pump trick. We'll just put a Hero of the Pride in front of it. Just gotta get rid of 3-1. Exile is not relevant for our decks. We have no escape. We do have ways to get stuff back from the graveyard. Reynada is very good. I can tap down Reynada with the Heliod's Punishment. Do I want to tap down Reynada? Alternatively, I can just activate the Sunmane Pegasus again for 2. Keep a Flicker. But I don't think Flicker is going to do much. I don't mind the Heliod's Punishment. I can always flicker my Heliod's Punishment too. And yeah, I don't mind just keeping up the Vigilance, attacking and offering to trade with the 3/3 Hydrex Tower Scout. And this locks down the Reynada so his creatures won't grow larger. And my Flicker can eventually flicker the Heliod's Punishment if need be. If not, the Kiora, we can always flicker the Kiora's Best to Sea God. And we're at 5 lands, 2 more lands and this should be game over, I think. Unless he has Shatter the Sky, which is a powerful rare, but it's a rare nonetheless. Revoke? Okay, that sucks. Has indeed been revoked. Do I block? No, I don't think I block. You have a pump trick. I don't want to lose a Sunmane Pegasus. It'll help me stabilize. In 1 more land, we'll have access to the almighty Dream Trawler. And we can just win the game from there. I like how it's helping me stabilize. Next turn if he attacks, I think I might block Reynada. I guess we're not blocking Reynada this time. Does a lot of damage, but that's fine. Dream Trawler can hopefully help me win the game. If we top deck a land. Just need a land off the top, please. And we have a Riptide Turtle, unfortunately. That's a rip. We'll activate the Sunmane Pegasus, attacking for 2. Flash into Riptide Turtle, taking 5. We can hold off Kiora Reynada here. And the Sunmane Pegasus is definitely helping us stabilize. We can always use it as a chump blocker, but this is fine holding off the 3/3 and we can take 5. Probably like pump trick, knew it, okay. And the line off the top is game over with the Dream Trawler. Do we keep a Sunmane Pegasus back? I'm at 9, so I think I'm forced to maybe chump. I think we just block with the 2/3 on the 5/4. Not going to risk the Dream Trawler here. And we can leverage the card advantage to our victory. Alright, and we can also cast Kiora Best to Sea God next turn. So let's move the attacks. You could flicker our Dream Trawler to prevent the life gain from happening, which is definitely a relevant strategy. We can always just tap the Dream Trawler, give it hexproof if he decides to, so gaining 5 is nice. Now we can play out land, play Kiora Best to Sea God. 2 bombs in a row, and maybe prompt a concession. We'll definitely block the 5/4 now, and this has hexproof, which is also quite nice. But the triggers on the stack will still make an 8/8. Pretty aggressive attack. We'll definitely block here. Put it in front of the 5/4. Okay, flicker. Guess he's playing to pump to 4/4. Don't think I have enough devotion to lethal me still. but 8 is pretty close. Next turn we can just attack for lethal. Lagoon Band Storyteller is nice. It can get back the Kiora Best to See God. So I think we were fine just playing defense still, keeping back the 8/8s, using Laguna Band Storyteller to chump. And also gaining life with the Dream Trawler. And that's going to gain 8 life. So pretty insane, unbeatable deck we have. I guess I'll keep both of these in hand just in case he has removal, since I don't really value the Transcend Envoy or Flicker Fate. Yep. Dream Trawler and Kiora Best of Sea God, pretty broken, busted deck. Pretty decent curve, 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop. Seems good. We're on a play. We also have a Thirst for Meaning to help dig deeper into our deck to find our bombs, so that's also quite nice. Don't think I want to cast it yet. I do want to maybe discard an enchantment. Discarding 2 cards might be too much this early on. I'm happy trading off my Hero the Pride. And then playing out the favorite, since next turn if I can Birth of Meletis, I can get in for a nice double strike. And this is just mana efficient, of course. Do I want the Birth? Or I can Thirst, discarding the Birth, but this can prompt a double strike. So there's no need to block this. He could use a Pump Trick and get in, but we're fine. We're in good shape still. I think we just want to hit our land drop, so I think it's important just using the Birth here. Yep. Now we can play land drop. I could just keep the Transcendent Envoy to discard to the Thirst for Meaning. It's not a bad idea, but here we're just going to attack in for 4 quite nicely. And the 2/1's not even a good blocker, so I think I'll keep it back. Next turn we can play out the Reverend Hoplite, or we can play out Sunmane Pegasus. I'm definitely trading for the 2/2 if he decides to attack with both. Makes sense, since we can't even attack past the 2/3 in the first place. Could see a Pump Trick here. Okay, so in a bit of a rough spot. The wall is quite nice, can hold off. I guess it can't hold off the Hero of the Pride. Could just Thirst for Meaning here. Laguna Band Storyteller can maybe find enchantment off the top. Alternatively, we can cast a Transcendent Envoy. But I think it's fine just main phasing a Thirst for Meaning. Maybe I just want mana to keep up Starlight Mantle. This is pretty difficult. Yeah, we'll just keep it like this. Yeah, we'll ditch the Transcendent Envoy. Keep up mana for Birth of Meletis. We can also flicker the Birth of Meletis and get a nice block against the Hero of the Pride. Or the 2/3. It's not actually unreasonable. I could just do it now, in fact. And go to 4. Guess we'll do it on my upkeep. I don't know. I guess we can always block this off and take 4. We'll attack in for 2, I think. I guess we can always flicker our Reverend Hoplite instead. I don't know. Pretty interesting decisions. I'll take 4. I can always flicker away the Indomitable Will if he tries anything crazy. I mean, I could flicker it away, but it will enter the battlefield again. I could also just target the hero to target hero itself. This has trample. That's pretty annoying though. So let's think here. If I flicker to Miletus, I can reset it, get the planes. If I flicker to Laguna, it does the same thing. The Reverend Hoplite probably won't do anything good here. Maybe we just flicker to Hero. I think it's too strong. Yeah, we'll just flicker to Hero. Prevent some damage from happening. Because, I mean, we can just win with Kiora Best to Sea God. We don't necessarily need to be too crazy here with our options. Now here, I don't mind just playing the Laguna and getting back to Birth is actually not unreasonable. So this is also pretty good ground blocker, and we can keep up the Starlight Mantle. Alternatively, I can play out the Sunmane Pegasus, but I think the Laguna is pretty good here. And then we can get back to Birth of Miletus, and then we can search out other planes within our deck, which is essentially like drawing a card. And also gain us life too, so it's pretty good. We just want to play defense here, I think. Petitioner, okay, that just gains them life. It's not much, I don't care. Three life, okay, we do have a flyer that can start getting in. Pice Wayfarer is fine. Constellation synergies will be pretty annoying though. But we're still in good shape. Here, I guess we just cast the Birth of Miletus. Thin out the deck, play the Reverend Hoplite, I think. And we're just lowering the land count. We'll play out the Reverend Hoplite, create a bunch of 1/1s. I guess I don't mind trading the 2/2 for like the 2/3 here. It's fine. I'm fine with the trade. I don't think this is even a good blocker, to be honest. Ooh, offering the Nyx Herald. Oh yeah, I'll definitely take the Nyx Herald here. The fact that this can constantly pump his team is a really nice trade. Guess you can go wide of the Hero of Pride. Gotta keep that in mind. Now we have Starlight Mantle to protect the Sunmane Pegasus. We can keep clocking him in the air. Warbride's Blessing, okay. We can keep up Starlight Mantle to dodge the removal spell. Yeah, we're just gonna play out the Sunmane Pegasus here. Keep land in hand in case we pick up something. He's gonna use the Warbride's Blessing, but we're gonna respond with Starlight Mantle to dodge it. He's gonna make a 1/1, that's fine. Okay, let's see what he targets. Guess I don't mind him killing our Reverend Hoplite. It's not bad. I think he enchanted the wrong creature. I think Hero to Pride was the correct creature to fight. If he wants to fight, I'll let this happen. I guess he can give Constellation to it. We'll let that resolve. Sealant makes a 1/1. And then we'll Starlight Mantle the Sunmane Pegasus. And we'll just win with a Dream Trawler off the top. Excellent card. Okay. And we can just chump block whatever he has here. He doesn't have trample, so I mean chump blocking is really good here. I mean, we're just gonna win the Dream Trawler and Sunmane Pegasus, essentially. Sure, we can chump block with a 1/1. It's not the end of the world. Staggering Insight, that's even more insane. Yeah, we'll just Staggering Insight to Sunmane Pegasus, why not? And we might as well just activate the Vigilance as well, for more life gain. So this is essentially just game over, I think. There's no way he can race these life linkers. I'm just drawing a million cards off of both the Dream Trawler and the Sunmane Pegasus. And we'll keep these lands in hand just to discard with the Dream Trawler so it doesn't die. I'm at 29 life, there's no way he can win this. I guess Kalis and exile my Sun main Pegasus. Sure, but my Dream Trawler is just...
responsible for the damage to Destiny.
But the Dream Trawler is still gonna kill him. Sure.
This will cease your meddling.
I can give him an extra turn for Calyx, but I don't think I want to. Do I trade here? I mean, taking 4, I don't care. I don't care if I'm taking 4. Yeah, I don't care if I'm taking 4. I guess I'll toy with him and maybe take out the Calyx. Whenever it attacks, right? Yeah, we'll just take out Calyx. It's pretty annoying. Give him an extra turn. And we also have Flicker to Fate to make more hoplites. Might as well play out land. We have enough cards already. I guess he might have the reach trick. Sure. We can just chump block everything. Nothing has trample, so we're good. I guess we can just flicker to Reverend Hoplite. And make more 1/1 tokens. Yeah. This is about game over. If this gave trample, this would be an amazing card, but the fact that it doesn't give trample makes this a really bad card. But yeah, you're not beating Dream Trawler at this point. Drew like a million lands too off of it, so it's good to have it down early. Is 16 lands reasonable with Dream Trawler? It could actually be reasonable. Given that I was flooding pretty hard in some of these matches. I mean, Birth of Meletis already gives me a land. So I could actually, insane enough, I could see myself cutting a Plains from this deck. Like, do we have any Mana Sinks? These are both our expensive cards. I guess we want 17 to at least reach them. We do have a good number 4, Triumphant Surge. Thirst for Meaning can maybe discard them. Birth of Meletis counts as a land, I guess. I mean, we don't have a lot of Mana Sinks. Don't really want Glory Bearers. Do I actually ditch a land and throw in another 3-drop? As crazy as it seems, it might actually be correct. Maybe that's just too insane. 12, 13, 14, 15. We have 15 creatures. He's not unreasonable. Like, do I really throw in 16 lands? I guess a Thirst. I don't know. I mean, how do we thin our deck? I guess we have, we do have the Thirst to help me draw. Omen and Scry. Heliod's Pilgrim can search me enchantment. Birth of Meletis gets me a land. So maybe we just go 16, as crazy as it seems. I mean, I've been flooding out a lot of these games, and maybe we can just throw in this stupid Dawn Evangel as a decent ground blocker. It's not unbelievable, actually. I think we'll try it. Because we just don't have a lot of Mana Sinks, to be honest. And then the rest of the games, I guess we were just flooding out pretty badly. I think we risk it here and try 16. 16 might just be the new 17. And then most of our creatures are small. They're just going to hold a ground block. I might regret it. But maybe we need an extra land to keep up like combat tricks. I'll test it out for this game. If it doesn't work out, I'll just go back to 17. And, well, it's not amazing. We do have a 2-drop. Thirst for Meaning favored. And we're on a draw. I think we'll keep. I guess now we kind of regret it. Yeah, I think we're going to regret here. If we don't get a third land, I'm going to be in trouble. But I think I need to cast Thirst for Meaning to hit my land drops. Nesting Hornbeetle, maybe we can lock down. Okay, land. Loses all abilities, so it can't gain counters. But I think we might have to Thirst for Meaning here, just to hit our land drops and dig deeper. Because I don't really want to deploy my 3-drops. I don't think they really accomplish anything. I think we're just going to pass and say go. We can always just flicker to 2-2 or lock it down if it starts gaining power. Okay. So I guess we're going to Heliod's Punishment the Nylea's Forerunner, and then we're going to flicker to 3-3 so it doesn't gain counters. I don't know. Let's just draw some cards. And I guess we can ditch the Dawn Evangel. That's not doing anything. We can play out land. So this is going to become a 4-4 next turn. If we Punishment, we can lock it down. If we Punishment to 5-3, this will still keep growing. Alternatively, we can play out one of our 4-drops. Like, I guess a Heliod's Punishment, we can always flicker it too. This is a pretty hard decision here. The Heliod's Pilgrim can get us Sentinel's Eye, Staggering Insight. But we have this 5-3 beating down on us and this 3-3. But we can afford to take 5. Maybe hold off 3-3. Huh. Favor is not going to do anything. I guess we just tap out for 4. But he could just have a removal spell, like something kills my flyer, which would suck. Don't think Staggering Insight is going to do much anyways, or Sentinel's Eyes, and I don't have a Dreadful Apathy. I think I have to tap out for the Pegasus. And we can maybe just flicker the Nessie and Hornbeetle before it grows even larger, or we can lock down the Nylea's Forerunner. We're not in a good spot. I guess we might have to find Stagger. Never mind. That's just going to kill my 2-3. I guess it's going to fight my wall. That's not bad. Actually, I guess he has like another removal spell here. Probably like the burn spell. We're going to take 5, I guess. I mean, take 10. It's not really good for me, but... So now what? Land at the top would be pretty nice here. This is a Peasant Petitioner I don't care about. So I guess I'm regretting keeping all this up, so I guess we don't mind just... Heliod's Punishing the 5-3, or we can flicker it. And I guess we'll flicker the Beetle, and we can hold off the rest of these cards and take 3. It's not an amazing play, but I think I have to do it just to stabilize. It's not very good. Because eventually he's just going to tap it. We'll just say go. And then we want to flicker this before when it reaches combat and it triggers on a stack so he doesn't gain any counters. Do I want it to attack? I don't mind it attacking before you do any weird blocks. We'll just flicker this so he doesn't gain any more counters. We'll take 3. We're just trying to delay him as long as possible. And maybe Staggering Insight can help me win the game. That's a really good 4-4, wow. I think I'm regretting not having a land drop now. I guess I have another flicker. This is going to keep growing. Man, this is not good. Yeah, I kind of regret not having a land drop in this game. Guess I'm forced to just play out the Heliod's Pilgrim. Maybe I can leverage the Staggering Insight. I mean, I'm just going to take 1,000,000 damage, so... highly doubt I'm going to win this. This 4/4 can start attacking. Yeah, we're just going to go 17 lands again. This is quite disappointing. I can at least trade for the 3/1 and take 7. Maybe Staggering Insight can do something here, and I can flicker. And now Typhon is just game over, I think. I guess I can Triumphant Surge. I go up to 4, but that's not going to do it. So I probably need to draw something off the top. It's just not going to do anything. Yeah, we need the second land. This is bad. I mean, we need the extra land. We're getting mana screwed so badly if we go into 16 lands. Man, that was really disappointing. And we also need Triumphant Surge in this deck, so I don't really like Dawn Evangel. It can just get out of the deck, I think. And then we'll just add the extra lands now. I can also consider cutting the favorite of Iroas, too. But no, I mean, Dawn Evangel is just a bad card. It's really bad. Let's just not even think about it. The favorite can at least maybe get Sentinel's Eyes and attack pretty hard. And maybe, like, deal 4 to the opponent. Because you don't want, like, Kiora Best Sea God stuck in your hand all day, or Dream Trawler. So that was a huge mistake of me going to 16 lands. Okay. I guess we just need our third land drop to Omen, Riptide. Punishment's not going to be great. Sentinel's Eyes can be okay. Laguna Band Tower could also be very okay. Opponent's on the play. I think we're keeping this. The Omen isn't bad on turn 3. If we get a blue source, we can flash in a Riptide Turtle. I think it's a fine keep. And hopefully we don't have a Dream Trawler, or I mean the Kiora Best of Sea God at the bottom of the deck, because it is kind of like a main win condition. We'll flash in a Turtle next turn. Sentinel's Eyes, okay, that's still not going to attack past the Turtle. But we'll just keep blocking it. This is essentially eating the creature. Now we'll just play land and pass. And then we can flash into double Omens of the Sun to trade for this, which I don't mind. It does freeze Sentinel's Eyes, but I think it's worth it here. Otherwise the 1/1s aren't gonna do much except chump block all day. And if he uses a pump trick, sure, whatever. He's still forced to use a pump trick. Glory Bearers, we can still hold that off. Fine by me. Do I want to cast Laguna Band Storyteller? Not really. I don't mind a favorite of Iros with a Sentinel's Eyes. That's pretty strong. But we'll surprise him with a Sentinel's Eyes next turn. But I guess that can't even attack past the 3/4, so that sucks. So I might just punishment on it and attack for 6. Maybe that's correct. Vanishing Light. Okay, sure. That's fine. I mean, at least that doesn't answer Kiora. I guess I don't mind Flicker of Fading the Omen Sun or sacrificing it maybe, and the turn to Scry 2. That's actually not bad. We'll just play land and pass. Do want to dig towards better playables. And there's another 3/4. Okay. don't think we're flickering the Omen. I can see I can see it happening, but I think it's fine just sacrificing these for 2. The Pilgrim can be pretty nice, but it will reshuffle my deck, unfortunately. But it can be nice getting our nice Starlight Mantle. I mean, not the Starlight Mantle, the Staggering Insight into the gameplay, and hopefully we can top deck a Flyer and deck and close out the game. So I think we'll try it. We're just going to keep the Heliod's Pilgrim, play her out, and essentially find our Staggering Insight, since we have Flicker of Fate to protect it already, and we'll just stay back. We'll take 3, we can block one of the Glory Bringers. We do need to find another good blocker soon. Guess I could just play out the Laguna Band Storyteller and block to gain a bit of life, and then recast the Omen of the Sun. Opponent just passes, so he doesn't have anything. I could Staggering Insight, but it won't be able to attack any further into the future. I guess I don't mind the Laguna getting back the Omen of the Sun. It's actually not a bad idea. We can play out land. We can play out Laguna. I guess I don't have to, but gaining some life is pretty decent. It does set me back a bit. But we can always just flash it in, sack it. No, we'll just decline, I think. I don't think we need it. We'll just pass our turn, and then eventually maybe Staggering Insight and get in a nice attack. Sure, we don't care about that. Just a bunch of 1/1s. I guess they can become 3 toughness, so we probably have to we'll probably have to block it with 3/4. The other 2 3/4s are gonna get in for 3. My 0/5 can hold that off. Triumphant Surge isn't bad, but only if a creature with 4 power. I guess we'll just pass again. I can also just play out the Sentinel's Eyes on the 3/4. That's actually not bad. That's actually not bad at all. We'll just do that. I can attack for 4. You can maybe go for a double block. No, we'll just say go. We'll save the Staggering Insight for a flyer that we can protect. You can sack the Omen end of turn to scry 2. This 4/5 can hold off the rest of these other creatures. We can Flicker to protect it as well, and then we can bring back the Sentinel's Eyes on top of our library. Final Flare. Okay, so now what? Guess we're gonna Flicker the Laguna. I don't hate it. And then I guess we can always just bring back the Omen of the Sun, and then we can always escape the Sentinel's Eyes. And then we can flash in the Omen next turn and also sacrifice it to scry 2. Commanding Presence, okay, pretty scary card. We do have Triumphant Surge to answer it. But I'll happily take 5 and then Triumphant Surge the 6/4, but he's kind of going all in, which I don't mind. He's just going to make a 1/1, we're going to take 6, no biggie. Could just Triumphant Surge now. Could just wait. Don't know if that accomplishes anything. I could Heliod's Punishment and Staggering Insight eventually and maybe force him to do some chumps. But for now, I guess there could be Karametra's Blessing he could top deck, so I think we just do it now. And then I guess he can escape the Sentinel's Eyes, and we're still fine, we'll stay back. We're just going to stall his progress as long as possible, so we can find our bombs eventually. We can block with the 0/5, I'm fine with that. The 3/4 can block the 3/4. Sure, the turtle can block into it, it's not a big deal. Maybe top deck a Pump Trick, but whatever. I guess he exiles Rage Hound too, so the Transcend Envoy can start poking us. We're probably gonna flash in the Omen of the Sun and the turn. We're fine playing out the land. There's really no need to do anything. I could also Heliod's Punishment this, but I don't have any clean attacks. Do I need to Sentinel's Eyes at 3/4? Not really. We're just gonna pass and say go, I think. The Sentinel's Eyes might be better on another flyer, I think. Keeping one on top could be a powerful bomb, could be Hackdos. Hopefully he's not Hackdos. But I do have 3 costs, 4 costs, and a 2 cost. So he's going for an Alpha Strike. We can block everything. No problem. We're in good shape. Alternatively, I could just flash in the Omen here. And I can double block the 3/5, which isn't a bad idea. I mean, we lose a bunch of 1/1s, but who cares? I guess I don't mind losing the Heliod's Pilgrim instead. Guess he has a choice to kill the Heliod's Pilgrim, so no. And the 1/1, so no. I think it's fine blocking like this. This is a fine block. Hopefully no pump tricks. Okay. But at least this is gone. This won't have any anthem effects for any future cards he plays. Captivating Unicorn's okay. We'll just sack and scry for 2. Find our bombs. Flicker of Fate, how good is that? We can flicker it, get back another enchantment. I don't think we need it. It's pretty nice for Starlight Mantle, but I think we just need to find our bombs. Or a nice flyer we can enhance. Like Dream Trawler, okay. There we go, it's game over. Do we just escape the Sentinel's Eyes onto us? I guess I do. Yeah. So now it's Vigilance, which is even better. I don't mind if he taps the Dream Trawler down. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to make a part 2 video. I don't have enough time. It's almost 2 hours right now for this video, and we're currently, I think we're 2 losses. Funny enough, given that we have 2 bombs. One of the huge mistakes. One of the games I lost because I decked myself in Kiora, the Best Sea God, was at the bottom of my library. The second one, I took the risk of going 16 lands, which I shouldn't have done. Pretty bad idea. But yeah, we'll make a part 2 video, and stay tuned.